Am I the asshole for grounding my daughter for calling me an ugly kid? I 45F and my daughter 19F were sitting down going through the picture books that my cousin had brought to my house. The pictures showed me from baby all the way till 17. I thought it would be nice to share with my daughter and my husband. During elementary school I had gained an eating disorder due to extreme bullying. In return I went from a skinny 9-year-old to being an obese 10-year-old. My mother never tried to help me out, no sports, no helping me eat healthier, just constantly telling me I'd get diabetes. Obviously that just made it worse. So I blew up. So basically I became the weird fat kid. Didn't help that I had ADHD. When I got to high school I took more care of myself and also embraced being punk. I also developed a bit so I became curvy. I started dating and getting compliments. After high school I lost the weight due to wanting to become a state trooper. Anyway, fast forward to now, my daughter went from calling my pictures cute and adorable to chuckling. I asked what was so funny, expecting her to say how nerdy I looked. Nope. She straight out said, "I can't believe you used to look like that." I asked what she meant by that and all she said was that the glow up was real. I got a bit upset and asked her if she was calling child me ugly. She still in a joking tone she said of course she was. My awkward face hit hard and I looked weird. She ended it off with that, "I got lucky that I started looking better in high school and lost the weight, because if not she could not imagine someone like my dad marrying me." My husband was just sitting there in disbelief. He tried to speak up but I blew up. I told her I couldn't believe an adult was fat-shaming a child, let alone her own mother. I told her that she was a terrible person for what she said and told her she was just like those kids in school who bullied me. I told her I must have failed as a parent if she thought that this was appropriate to say to someone, especially her mom. I told her she was grounded until further notice. My daughter started crying and ran to her room. My husband, after I calmed down a bit, told me he understood that what she said was wrong but I shouldn't have spoken to her like that and that I should apologize for that. I told him what should she get an apology for. He said that what happened to me was in the past and this is now. I told him to fuck off and went to my friend's house. She took my side, mostly because we've been friends since high school and we were both fat growing up. I've never spoken to my daughter like that and I have never heard of my daughter being a bully. Though if she thought that was okay to say, I cannot imagine what she says when I'm not around. Though my mother used to say things to purposely hurt me and I felt like my mother at that moment. Now I feel terrible and think I might just give in and apologize. Am I the asshole? I want to add some by the way things so I don't have to explain it again. My daughter is in high school, she gets her lunch packed by me every day. I pick her up sometimes from school early for girls' days. My daughter is an upper-class, beautiful and popular girl who has never felt hardship. For that I am grateful. Though in the last coming years she has become rude. Commenting on people's bodies, intelligence and financial situations. I've talked to on so many occasions. It's not an everyday thing but it's happened enough. She has said something snarky to me before, so no, it's not the first time. This is just the first time I got upset. Come on. Of course you are the asshole. You're a 45 years old insulting a 19 years old. Who's the child in this situation? What's worse is that you actually helped her dig herself into a hole, and then made her cry over it, and saw nothing wrong with your behavior. Even your husband, an obviously far more well-adjusted person than you, called you out on your behavior and you lashed out at him. Look, I get that this was a trigger for you. But, as is so common to say, this is a you problem. If those pictures weren't of you, or if your daughter had been saying this about someone else, and you didn't have all these issues and triggers, how would you have reacted? I'm guessing you would have been a lot more level-headed. Maybe think about that for a good long while before you buckle down and apologize to your kid. You are the asshole. It seems like you have absolutely not dealt with your past problems and you extremely overreact to your daughter. You can't punish her for what your bullies did to you. What she said was the truth, you thought the same of yourself. You should have turned this into a lesson that even after all those years the truth can still hurt a lot and shouldn't been laid out that bluntly. Instead of that you just punished her for being honest. If I was her I wouldn't tell you the truth ever again, you would just punish me for it anyway. You are the asshole. I understand that your daughter's comment hit a nerve, but grounding her seems like an overreaction. Instead, you could have used this as an opportunity for a heartfelt conversation about your own struggles with body image and bullying. Punishing her doesn't really address the underlying issue or promote a healthy dialogue between you two. You are the asshole. She felt safe joking around you. She deserves an apology. Hopefully you get one too. Everyone sucks here. She said awful things, but you can't ground an adult. Am I the asshole for asking my dad to choose me? My 30M dad and our extended family were raised in a codependent way. He and his siblings need to see each other at least 2x a week. When I was in high school, I was required to come with him even if I had an exam the next day or got off work late. If I didn't come with him, I got grounded. Eventually, I moved to a different state for grad school and was the first one among my cousins to get married. My wife Amy, 30F, and I have been together since we were 20. She moved with me for grad school, and everyone was proud and happy. When Amy got into medical school, I had graduated and gladly moved with her. My parents didn't like that I didn't move back home but were happy to have a future doctor as part of the family. My dad's eldest sister Sarah, matriarch of the family, however, sent my wife terrible messages about how a woman's place is by her husband, not the other way around. Sarah told my wife to either get out of my life or be shunned from the family. My mom and dad were apparently very heartbroken by this and became stressed. My cousins fully supported Sarah's actions after seeing how stressed my parents became, because my dad is like a second father to them. Maybe even the only father figure some of them have. They claimed my wife's career was tearing apart the family, so they called other cousins, aunts, and uncles, and many either sent Amy mean messages or blocked her. After a lot of confrontations, I went no contact with them outside of some holidays. My parents never stood up for Amy. They just told her that people in the family are emotional. My dad loves his extended family and still supports them whenever possible. A cousin gets fired for smoking on the job? He invites her to stay in my old. He throws many birthday parties for them. The cousins always ask for financial and emotional help, because he is so giving. One time at Christmas, I asked Sasha and my cousins why they insist on being so terrible to Amy. They said that no one had a problem with how they treat Amy, since my dad still treated them the same. This week, Amy is starting her first week of residency and we are also pregnant. This was not planned and we're both happy. Maybe we made the mistake of telling my parents, because one of my cousins is also pregnant and unblocked Amy just to text her that our baby will never be accepted and as loved as the others, because Amy chose medical school. That was the last straw. I tried showing my dad the message, but he said he didn't want to see it but that people are probably just emotional. I asked him finally to choose between us and these extended family members who hurt us for no reason. My mom said that was out of the question and that I am an ungrateful child for trying to control my parents' decision-making. She now blames Amy for my sudden need for them to pick a side. And I feel like the asshole for inadvertently bringing more hate onto Amy during her first week of residency and early pregnancy. Not the asshole. Give her closure now by making the decision that the people who do not support you and her are no longer part of your life in any way. That's how you remove the stress you've added here. They have shown you that nothing will overcome their irrational hatred or your parents' cowardice in refusing to confront it. Not the asshole and your family is terrible. As much as it may suck for you, it may be time to walk away from them. I mean, do you really want to bring your child into this world only to have your family treat them terribly? What's best for your child and your wife should now be what's most important to you. Not what your parents, extended family wants. You keep running into the same wall, hoping they will change and they never do. It's time for you to support your wife fully and go no, low contact. They, your parents, through inaction, and your extended family will continue to hurt Amy because they're bullies. So no, you're not the asshole for trying to get your parents to see what was going on, so not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your dad's family doesn't respect your choices because they blame Amy for everything instead of accepting everything has been a mutual decision. You and Amy need to ignore that side of the family and just continue to grow your life together. You can't change them but you can change how you react to them. You are the asshole to yourself. He won't. I don't know why he is so messed up, and you deserve better, but you need to accept it, go very low contact and move on. Amy and your baby are your family now, you need to choose them. Am I the asshole for trying to invite my daughter to someone's party and possibly ruining it? My daughter, 9, goes to a small school with 11 girls in her grade. Her class is very tight-knit and we all get along well. About a year ago the girls started a book club and meet up at different homes 2 times per month. My daughter was in it last summer but we had to stop when the school year began. She's a competitive dancer which requires a lot of time. Fast forward to 3 weeks ago. We had a girl in her class over named Sarah. Sarah asked my daughter if she was excited to attend Addie's, another girl in the class, birthday party. She said it was a swimming party and they'd be playing a movie on an outdoor screen. My daughter hadn't received an invite. When Sarah's mom came, Sarah told her how we hadn't received an invite for Addie's birthday. Sarah's mom said Addie had handed them out at the last book club and had probably just forgot to reach out. She suggested I text Addie's mom. I was hesitant at first because I do have strong feelings about inviting yourself to things. I couldn't see a real reason why she wasn't invited since it was an at-home party and every other girl was. I texted Addie's mom and reminded her my daughter hadn't been at the last book club and if she was also supposed to receive an invite. She responded that they had hired someone to do a spa for the girls during the party and the service had a limit of 10, so they decided to only do the girls and book club. She didn't expect us to find out. I responded that I understood but felt it was wrong to not include just one. I told my daughter we can't expect to be invited every time and this was just a life lesson. Sarah's mom reached out to ask if I had sorted it out. I sent her a screenshot from the convo. She didn't respond for a few days, but when she did, she told me she had decided Sarah wouldn't attend. She felt it was wrong to not include just one child and she could see if our kids didn't get along or had drama, but that wasn't the case. They hired someone knowing just one girl would be left out and she didn't agree with it. I get a text from Addie's mom a week later that a total of 4 girls were not attending. She felt I had ruined her daughter's party and was creating drama. I explained that I had no intentions of ruining her party and had only spoken to one other mom about it. I talked to my own mom about it, who agreed I should not have texted Addie's mom, and if they had wanted us we would have been invited. The only mom I talked to about it was Sarah's, which I assume is who told others. I never meant to cause others to not attend or ruin a child's party. When I reached out I really felt like it must have been a mistake since she was the only one. Now I'm unsure if I was just a jerk who now caused unnecessary drama in a small group and possibly ruined a child's party. Was I the aw? Edit. My daughter does still attend book club once per month to once every other month. She didn't totally leave. She's just not a full-time member. Not the asshole. You don't exclude one kid from a party, it's unnecessarily cruel. Have only 6 sure, 10 of 11 no, and they shouldn't be surprised it's had consequences. Not the asshole. It's completely normal to want your kids not to be left alone or rejected. And you didn't purposefully send the screenshot just to make a drama. It was just responding to a question someone asked you, that's it. But sending the screenshot of a private conversation to someone else is a mistake, so watch out next time. And also, you didn't make those 4 girls' parents to decide to not make their daughters attend, so you did nothing wrong. And you also taught your daughter then she will not be invited sometimes, and that's something that happens and it's fine, and that is great parenting. Not the asshole. Addie's mom is a garbage person for excluding one girl from the class. I see no problem with your exposing her behavior. Sarah, and the other girls who didn't go to the party, as well as their parents, are stand-up people. Not inviting one girl in a class and expecting no one to find out is really, really dumb. The reason I didn't go, not the asshole, is twofold. 1, they are 9, and at that age friendships become more complex. Your daughter will need to learn that she will not always be included, and conversely, that it's okay to not include everyone in things she does. With better communication this shouldn't be an issue. 2, sending someone the screenshot of the conversation with the birthday girl's mom is asshole move that is also pretty much guaranteed to start drama. The only asshole move here is leaving out one child. That is ridiculous. I hope the apple falls far from that tree.